So I would say my mentor. So I'm very grateful. While I was working for Nicole, the trustee, while I was managing her cases, we would get a lot of calls from investors looking to acquire things through the court sales. And one of them really stood out. His name is Hugo. He's one of my best friends to this day. He's like a big brother to me and a mentor. And we're also business partners now, in multiple ventures, and we've done multiple ventures together. But I think it was him. So, I'm a young kid right out of college. I'm pretty much pushing paper, doing, drafting motions and things like that for the attorneys and the trustee to
Right.
review. And this investor, most investors would call the office, and I was kind of the segue between the trustee, if the her assistant, if it was something higher level, like purchasing assets and things like that, it would
Right.
come to me, and then it would go to the trustee. Well, he was the only investor. I would get dozens and dozens of calls from investors, and he said, you know what? I'd like to come in and take you out to lunch, or take you out to lunch, come in and meet you. So he came in, I'm this like fresh out of college, not knowing anything. And he was just really, first off, he was just really good energy, and he was very humble. And he kind of told me about him. He was, an immigrant from Cuba, first generation here, and he went to school first, one of the first in his family. I think him and his brothers and sisters all went to school, but went and got his law degree, started practicing law, and he started investing in real estate in his probably mid 40s, I believe.
Right.
And Hugo, if you watch this, forgive me if I'm misspeaking on this, but long story short, he was the one that kind of said, "Hey, Mike, take the jump. Like I did it, and here's where I'm at." And he's an extremely successful real estate investor and attorney as well, and just a good person. So I think that was probably the catalyst to where I had somebody come in and kind of took me under their wing a little bit, and
Right.
said, "Hey, Mike, if I can do this, and you can do this." And
Right.
he sent me some books to read. Probably the most pivotal book was The Rich Dad Poor Dad, Retire Young, Retire Rich,
Right.
which
That's
taught
a great book. I read
great
that
book,
book, the early 2000. That was a great book. And the,
great
the
book.
second one was really good too. Cash Flow Quadrant.
Yeah, yeah. I
That
didn't
was
read
really
that
good
one.
too.
I've read the Retire Young, Retire Rich probably four times,
Who
and I
wrote that
host
one?
Robert Kiyosaki. That was the fourth
Oh,
one of
okay.
the Rich
I
Dad.
haven't I haven't read that one.